Hi everybody, this is Janet Wright, and today I will be doing another practice video for you so you can practice your clairvoyant skills, your ability to visualize your energy and energy of other people. Okay, and as usual, we want to, when you're working on yourself and just reading yourself, you know, maybe you've just woken up 5 minutes ago, you're half asleep, that's totally fine. You know, reading yourself can help you to get more present. So it's much safer than not reading yourself, you know? It's a really good idea. I'd always recommend that, you know, try to imagine or read or visualize, you know, your energy, how far off are you? Come on back, you know, and, you know, try to imagine your grounding, that connection to the center of the earth and clean it out, you know, all good stuff, right? If you are visualizing other people, I think it's good to make sure you're a little extra centered and you have extra safe boundaries. And you're also viewing from non-judgment. So if you are really, really pissed at somebody or you're thinking somebody is so stupid, that is not the time to visualize their energy. If you want to keep your karma positive. If you want to, you know, please your angels and, you know, protect your karma. Okay, so this is going to be an exercise where we visualize other people. So if you're really freaking out right now and you don't feel right, then do this one some other time. Okay, because again, like I said, that's something that you want to you want to behave. You know, it's not that I don't ever judge people. You know, like Donald Trump. You know, I just read him in the last video we did. I judge him at other times, but not when I'm clairvoyantly visualizing his energy. No. You know, because it's for your own safety too. It's not only for good karma for you, but it's also for your safety because it helps you stay separate from whatever that person has in their space. Okay. But unlike that exercise where we were visualizing Trump and Putin and, you know, people that are very big and famous, but you don't know personally, this exercise will be more to imagine people that you know personally. Okay. But again, I would encourage you to start with people that, you know, don't read anybody that you're furious with right now. You need to chill out first. But anyway, okay. So let's center real quickly. If you're super not centered, do maybe like a tricolor soak video, tricolor earth energy soak, which is 6 minutes. Or maybe you need some aura repair with the gold energy aura buffer zones video, which is 18 minutes, gold energy aura buffer zones video. But I'm assuming that you're pretty okay already. Okay, so we'll just do a quick grounding and a 1 color soak. So you're grounding, make it as wide as your aura all the way around you, red or orange or yellow, and have it, just create it with your mind that it goes all the way down to the core of the earth and it stays wide all the way down to the core of the earth and flowing downward like a waterfall. Okay. I'm going to do a red one this time, but it can be red or orange or yellow. And just enjoy how that feels to release. Maybe a few deep breaths. Think about I can let go. And when you think I can let go, what you're doing is you're saying hi to a part of you that doesn't really understand that, you know, that's maybe more resistant, you know, a subconscious part of you. So you're kind of talking that part of you into letting go. So, hey, it's okay to let go. I can let go. I'm safe. It's okay to let go. And so that could really double how much you're releasing, which is healthy. Good thing to do. All right, great. So then that's grounding. And let's do a 1 color earth energy soak. So you use that big grounding that you just made as a straw and you bring up a whole bunch of earth energy and you soak in it. Okay. So the same color of your grounding. So I'm going to use red and bring the earth energy all the way up and soak the bottom of my aura, the bottom of your aura, your whole body, your whole aura, above your head, the top of your aura, all in that color earth energy. So red or orange or yellow. And just sit there and enjoy how that feels. And just make a copy of your aura out in front of you and just comb through it. And if you feel any tightness, like for me, I have a tightness right up against right in my first layer, right up against my body. So I want to comb through that little area right there. If you have a tightness, that means there's some energy that's not you. So if you have tightness anywhere, you can do what I'm doing and just comb through it. If you don't feel any tightness, just comb through everywhere anyway, just for good measure. And maybe part of your tightness is a being. So if so, like a being or an entity, a little spirit doesn't belong there. If that's true, just you could point it out to your angels. Say, angels, can you please recycle the beings that are right there? Yeah, that worked well. Okay, great. So now this reading exercise will be, like I said, for people that you know, not, big famous people that you don't know. So it's talking about styles of communication, okay? And generally personal styles of communication. So like in private personal communications, like husband and wife or friends or brother and sister, stuff like that. So there are two styles of communication. One style is face-to-face. And I tend to call this like small table communications. So it's like as if two people were at a small table in a restaurant communicating, okay? And they sit across from each other and they communicate. And so people who do this type of face-to-face small table communicating, they really like to be seen, they really like to be heard, and they really like to see and hear the other person. So they're much more like, I don't know, they kind of crave that, the extra level of engagement when you're really facing someone, actually physically, literally, but also metaphorically, to fully face someone, okay? So that's a small table communicator, okay? And then there's a different type of communicator. I'm going to represent by two different stuffed animals. And I call these guys park bench communicators. So these guys are just sitting on a park bench, which, I don't have a park bench, but let's just imagine, So the bunny and the frog, they're park bench communicators. And so they're just sitting on this park bench and they're watching, they're watching the scenery out in front of them. And they're having a conversation at the same time. But what they're watching is part of the experience. And what they're watching and the way they're sitting helps to kind of dilute the level of engagement that they have with each other. So they're listening to each other and they're talking to each other, but there tend to be greater pauses in the conversation. There tend to be, it's just more low key. And it's still communicating and is still sharing, but it has more of a less thorough kind of vibe with it. It's what these people are comfortable with. The park bench communicators, this is how they want to talk to somebody. And this is how they will actually open up more about themselves, is if physically they're not fully facing each other. If they're literally physically like this, they actually like that. And also it's just metaphorical too, that this is the way they like to communicate. So maybe these two people, if they go out somewhere, they may want to people watch while they eat their meal, so they'll like observe other people in the restaurant while they're eating. Or maybe park bench communicators really enjoy like being on car rides with each other, because when you're driving in a car, you're both facing forward. And so that's a very comfortable thing for these park bench communicators. And so if you if you know somebody like that who, you know, when you're driving somewhere with them, they actually will open up a lot more than normal. That is because they're a park bench communicator. So they just like that style. Okay. So what happens is sometimes the small table communicators, you know, one of them will marry a park bench communicator. And so a lot of times, but not always, but a lot of times, well, yeah, I won't put genders with it. Stereotypically, the small table communicator is the female and the park bench communicator is the male. But I know a lot of women too who are park bench communicators. It just really depends. So there's no gender rules either way. But anyway, sometimes this person and this person are married, right? So what happens is this person keeps wanting this person to face them, and they prefer this way, right? So this person will be like, yeah, but how was your day? How do you feel? And the person will be like, relax, you know? And so this person tends to feel dissatisfied and may try to force this extra level of engagement. And this person may actually get really pissed and feel very invaded and controlled. And they may need extra space now. So actually they communicate a lot less than they would otherwise. But if this person, the small table communicator, can learn, and they can, I've taught a bunch of them, to chill out and be this way. So like she can be, let's say she or he, this person can be small table with their small table friends. But then if they have a park bench, maybe one of their kids is a park bencher, then they learn to kind of switch gears and be more low key around that child or around that spouse or around that friend. They'll get a much more, over time, they'll get a much better response with that person. And this person may feel at first like, well, this is no fun. I'm not really getting what I need. But it's, you actually can, the small table people can actually learn to switch gears. And then they do get much more communication from the park bencher. Okay? So, all that is a very long little preface so that now you can look at who in your life is a park bencher and who in your life is a small table communicator. So again, the small table communicators communicate like this. Spiritually and literally, they prefer literally facing each other, and they prefer this level of like full engagement. You know, they may be big storytellers, and they may just have more of a like an affect when they're communicating. You know, they get more into a story. You know, and these guys may be more like low key and laid back, the park benchers. But let's just visualize, okay, to imagine. So think of you and somebody you know. And so first, imagine you, and what is your default, okay? So imagine yourself at a small table, if you're a small table person, or a small table communicator. Or imagine yourself on a park bench if you're more of a park bench communicator by default. And just let the first thing that you see be okay. You know, like don't overthink it. Okay? And now go ahead and imagine somebody else in your life, you know, that you interact with, and you want to know what they are, right? So just, you know, ask your angels, you know, angels, can you help me to just visualize on my little screen in my space, you know, cleanly. Angels, help me to have respectful boundaries as I do this. Okay, maybe touch your forehead so you're not judging, right? Because there's no good or bad about it one way or another, how someone prefers to communicate. Okay, so but go ahead and imagine that person and what is their style of communicating. Okay, and so the thing with reading is you might be surprised, and that's good. I mean, if every time you read something, it's what you thought, then maybe you're not being super accurate. You know, when you read, you want to just see things the way they are, not the way you want them to be, not the way you've always thought they should be. You want to let yourself be surprised, because that's really one of the best parts of reading, is that you learn, right? You realize something you didn't know. So you probably just realized which way this one person is that you were looking at. And again, if you're a small table communicator, that means you know how to switch gears. You know how to, be this way or this way, but you have to teach yourself to relax and chill out and be more low key with the park benchers, right? And maybe don't, face them like this when you're talking, like maybe you both look at something together. You both look out the window, or you both look at some flowers or whatever. So go ahead and imagine somebody else in your life that you're curious about, because reading is a little bit about satisfying your curiosity. I mean, there's definitely karma and cleanness about it. So you don't want to, be like super nosy about somebody and visualize things that are completely not your business, because like I said, there's karma to this. You want, if you consider visualization to be a bit of a gift, from the angels, then you don't want to misuse it, because that's bad karma and therefore really not good for you, right? So go ahead, just touch your sixth chakra and just, you already asked your angels for help. You're just using your little movie screen, and you're going to imagine another person and just look at, are they a park bencher or are they a small table communicator? So if they're a park bencher, maybe you see them literally on a park bench. And if they're a small table communicator, maybe you see them, you see the little white table of the restaurant, and maybe you see them at the table, or you just see the table to represent that. And so for me, what's interesting is just a quick personal example. I was just imagining two friends of ours that we really don't see that often. And now I think maybe part of why we don't see them as often is because I'm more of a small table communicator and they're actually more park benchers. And so it could be that when we have hung out, everyone had a good time, but maybe it was a little bit too engaged, the level of communication that I was giving. And so that would mean that subconsciously they would be like, yeah, let's do that again, but not anytime soon. Yeah, because park benchers, you do need to kind of dilute that level of communication for them so that they feel comfortable. Otherwise, they feel like kind of like they're being interrogated or something. It's a little too much. So what I will do then, if even when we hang out with them again, I will make sure, no direct body language, just like look out the window together, or, like I'll make sure to have enough pauses in the conversation, not eyeball to eyeball style, I'll make sure to, at least on my end, that I'll dilute it enough so that they'll be more comfortable subconsciously. So I hope that helped. And you may, as a good follow-up to this, we'll do a little, another grounding one color soak right now. But, another follow-up to this might be, you can replay it again and look at other people in your life and see, if they're a park bencher or a small table communicator by default. Maybe some journaling is a good follow-up to this video. Maybe some stretching, some protein, something fun, But anyway, so let's do grounding and a one color soak, and then a little bit of stacking and clearing, just to clear, because when you visualize, it can trigger things. Maybe you have something in common with somebody that you were visualizing, you don't even realize it, or maybe it just triggers something. And it's good to clear that out. Okay. So think about your grounding, pick a brand new color for it, red or orange or yellow. and make it nice and wide as your whole aura, and have it stay wide as it goes down to the core of the earth. Think about letting go. I can let go. For me, I'm also, doing like a neck stretch, which is fun. You could massage your hands, like this little spot in your hand, whatever you want. Just something that's a little bit body friendly too. And just use your grounding like a straw and bring up an extra amount of earth energy all the way up to the top of your aura. Just soak in that. You can think about letting go. I can let go. And then while that earth energy soak is still going, you could do a quick stacking and clearing. And again, if you want to do more of that, there's a newish kind of video, stacking and clearing 3 ways. But you can just make piles out in front of you of energy blocks that either got triggered by the reading exercise you just did or just other reasons. Just pile them out in front of you, all the energy blocks that are good to clear right now. And then bring up red earth energy and just soak all the piles in the red earth energy. And then use gold light and wash out the piles with gold light, either from your hands or from like a gold hose that you imagine. And just melt away all the cords going into the piles. And then deep breath, wiggle your toes. Just think about letting go. Like the part of you that is subconsciously holding on to these energy blocks, just relax and be the flow. You don't have to be the glue. You can be the flow. Just let go of these energy blocks and the piles melt as you clear your resistance. So deep breath, let go. There you go. So maybe just a quick, angel blessing and healing to end the video. So just ask your angels, hey angels, can you please give me a blessing and a healing? And that may last a few minutes, which is fine. But we can end the video. So I'd love to hear what this was like for you. If you have any follow-up questions or just comments. And I hope it illustrated one positive reason one positive example why reading other people's energy can be karmically clean and healthy for your relationships with those people. Okay, bye.